Hello everyone and welcome to the Pokemon Labs Premier Challenge. This is the first of the Moon series. It's a new year, new format, and I got a new hat. It's actually kind of cool because this is Lunala. You're going to be seeing a lot of them in this format. Isn't that right? Pikachu. Yeah, he's ready. Our first matchup, we got Terran, Seifert, and Tricia Solomon going head to head. Let's get started. Alright, so you're going to see Terran on the left side. She's going to be going with that Groudon, Tapu Koko, Victory Bell, Yveltal, Stakataka, and Incineroar, while Tricia is going to be carrying Ferrothorn, Groudon, Incineroar, Reshiram, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Lele. And once we are ready to start, you're gonna see what they have on the screen. There we go. Let's do this. So, like I said, Terran's got Groudon, Yveltal, Tapu Koko, Stakataka, Victory Bell, and Incineroar. Tricia got that. Ferrothorn, Groudon, Incineroar, Reshiram, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Lele. Two very different teams, but both of them have that Groudon. They both have grass types, which are threatened by Groudon if it thinks that's Sun, but also can counter it, so that makes it very interesting. We're also seeing 3 out of the 4 Tapus on the field, with Koko on Terran's side, and Fini and Lele on Tricia's. Both of them have Incineroar. And then we have those oddities. We have Reshiram on Tricia's side, which is something I've been excited to see because Reshiram is a very unpredictable Pokemon. It can go for a couple things. You can go for Tailwind. That's been a very common set on Reshiram. However, you also could end up going for that Choice Scarf or Choice Specs to try and boost those speed or special attack stats. And of course, now with the introduction of Z Crystals, that puts a lot more guessing into the game here because you do not know who could be carrying that Z Crystal. And like I said earlier, Lunala is a very common Pokemon to hold a Z Crystal because it has a specialty Z move. But in this case, there is no Pokemon with a specialty Z move except for the Tapus, which aren't going to knock out any Pokemon. Tricia going to lead with that Reshiram, Tapu Lele on the right, while Terran going to go for Yveltal and Incineroar on the left, double dark lead. And we're also going to see that Tricia's Tapu Lele will outspeed that Yveltal and the Reshiram and the Incineroar. But we're going to see Reshiram then go second and Yveltal go third. Finally, finishing with Incineroar, meaning we now know that this Tapu Lele, in addition, we see the Adrenaline Orb, which means it is +2 in speed. So with that on the off the bat, Tricia has the speed advantage here. Both of her Pokemon are faster than Terran's. However, Terran does have that possibility with the Dark types. Yveltal is going to be weak to that Tapu Lele, but Lele can't get off any stab psychic attacks, so that could help. I remember at least a couple formats ago, Tapu Lele with Psychium Z was very prominent in those formats. So if Tricia is carrying that Z Crystal with Tapu Lele, it's not going to have a shot to get it off right away. We try and see a Sucker Punch coming out from Yveltal, but thanks to Psychic Terrain, that is not going to happen, as the Moonblast from Tricia's Tapu Lele is going to hit that Yveltal, in addition to a Blue Flare, which means that Yveltal is now down to 29 HP, as we see a knockoff from Terran's Incineroar, getting that Tapu Lele down to around half health, and it couldn't knock off any item because Tapu Lele had already used the Adrenaline Orb, so a decent strategy there from Tricia. To get that speed boosted, now, in this case, there's nothing Terran can do to really save that Yveltal because Lele does have a free hit on it. Incineroar with the Flare Blitz will be able to take out the Lele, so maybe Tricia wants to rely on the Reshiram to knock out the Yveltal. But either way, this Yveltal is at a huge risk, and there's not very much that Incineroar can do to knock out either of Tricia's Pokemon, so Tricia's got a very good position here with that Moonblast going into the Yveltal slot, finishing it off for good. And just to add insult to injury, there's that critical hit at that 29 HP Yveltal. The Tailwind coming off of the Reshiram. Now Tricia definitely has speed control. And Terran is going to go for another knockoff onto that Tapu Lele, getting it down to just the last bit of health. But it will survive another turn at +4, 2 plus speed in the thanks to Tailwind, and 2 plus speed thanks to the Adrenaline Orb. So there you go. Tapu Koko now coming out, despite having a slower speed thanks to Tricia's Tailwind. It does have the ability to do a couple things. If it's a bulkier Tapu Koko, it can go for Electro Web, try and slow down Tricia's Pokemon, knock out the Tapu Lele in the process. It could go for Dazzling Gleam, in which another move that would do decent amount onto both of Tricia's Pokemon. Other than that, there's not too much that Tapu Koko can do. It could unleash a strong special attack here, but thanks to the electric terrain, but that Reshiram's going to resist that. So really the main target for Tapu Koko, I believe, will be that Lele that Tricia is protecting. As we see that blue flare once again come out from Reshiram, it is going to target the Tapu Koko, but it is not going to connect. And we see the knockoff going on to the Reshiram. We don't see an item knockoff from Reshiram, which means it could be holding a Z Crystal. So that we might see our first Z Crystal of the season for Pokemon Labs in that Reshiram. Also, we saw that earlier. We saw that Tapu Koko go into the Tapu Lele slot. It did protect. Just wanted to point that out. And now, in this case, Tricia does have the advantage with Tapu Lele being the fastest on the field. You have a couple options. You can go for that Moonblast on Incineroar, Psyshock onto the Tapu Koko. Either one's going to do just around 50%, maybe a little less. But you could also switch out. Even though you would be losing the Adrenaline Orb boost like Tricia is doing, you will still have that Tailwind for later. And bringing in Groudon to counter both of Terran's ground-weak Pokemon, then that's gonna be tough for Terra to get out of. Blue Flare, in addition, now boosted from the sun, going to connect with that Tapu Koko very hard and knock it out in one hit. And there's that Incineroar that only can knock off here, goes onto the Groudon slot. We see, again, Groudon does not have an item, so are both of these Pokemon carrying Z Crystals? That's an interesting thing, we don't really know. But we are going to see another Groudon. It's coming out from Terran's side this time. And with Tricia having the advantage, that Precipice Blades, without an Intimidation, will be able to remove that Incineroar. So in this case, if Tricia's able to get the Blue Flare and Precipice Blades to hit, she'll remove both of Terran's Pokemon. That'll be the end of game 1 here. And there's that Blue Flare. It does connect with that Groudon, does a massive amount of damage. That is a one-hit KO. And that Groudon is gone from Terran's side. We see that Precipice Blades and a single target, no Intimidate. That's going to do it. Tricia Solomon's going to take Game 1, Round 1 of our first Moon Series tournament. And like I said, I'm excited to see Reshiram because it is so versatile. Another thing I'm very curious about, it looked like it might have been carrying a Z Crystal, which is something you don't really expect, but in theory, a Blue Flare Z Crystal in the sun with Groudon is a strategy that a lot of people, I believe, will overlook, because don't forget, not only are you getting a very strong special attack with that Blue Flare, you add on the Z Crystal boost, that brings it to almost 200 damage, if not 200 damage, and then you add in the Sun boost from Groudon, and you've got yourself a massive, massive Z Crystal attack that can pretty much knock out whatever you need. In this case, we did see both players go for Groudon, and if Tricia is going to go for that Fiery MZ, then Terran might want to go into this Victory Bell here, give a bit of a better position with that Chlorophyll boost to the speed. I'm also wondering if we're going to see Incineroar from Terran's side come out again, because we did see that Tapu Lele completely put a stop to it and get a speed boost in the process, so there is a chance that that Incineroar will be hanging back, but it is actually going to come out right away with Tapu Koko here. Tricia going to lead once again with that Tapu Lele and Reshiram combo. So almost the same leads, except we're now seeing Tapu Koko in place of the Yveltal. So Tapu Koko is going to get that electric terrain up. Then it will be this Tapu Lele, followed by the Reshiram, and ending with Incineroar. But that's going to change thanks to the Adrenaline Orb. So Tapu Lele will be the fastest on the field and gets the terrain up. It's quite a rare scenario for leading with a slower Pokemon. And the Intimidate's not going to do very much onto either one of Tricia's Pokemon. Not going to affect them at all, in fact. We also saw that Tapu Koko got knocked out in one hit, so it's not carrying a Focus Sash. Tricia does have essentially a really strong hit with Tapu Lele. Could go for that Psychic attack onto Tapu Koko and remove a bit, but that's what Yveltal might be hanging in the back for. We're going to see that Psyshock does go onto that Tapu Koko in the Psychic terrain. That will get Tapu Koko down to 9 health. Going for the taunt to try and get rid of that Tailwind pressure, but Tricia does not bother with that anyway, going for the Blue Flare to remove Tapu Koko from the field. It is gone, and now we get to see what this Incineroar is going to do. Going for that knockoff once again onto Tapu Lele, does again less than 50%, so not a very strong attack. I'm surprised we haven't seen Flare Blitz yet. Maybe Terran does not want to show that, maybe expecting a switch into something such as Tapu Fini. And we do see that Yveltal once again come back onto the field. Now possibly Terran wanting to set up this Tailwind to sweep Tricia's team. And really, that is the only thing I believe Terran can do. Looking at Terran's team, you think you've got the Victory Bell, which can put a very devastating stop to Tricia's team, with the exception of Reshiram. You have Groudon, which can finish the Reshiram. So Terran really has a couple options. I believe the Groudon would be the best play here. That seems like Tricia might be able to go for that. We're going to see the Moonblast onto the Yveltal first. We also saw that this Blue Flare will hit first. Hit the Yveltal. That Yveltal is going to take it with 30 HP, but it will get burned. Every time that Blue Flare hits that Yveltal, it just does not... It is not kind to it. We see a foul play from Terran's side onto Reshiram, and that's not going to do much at all thanks to that burn. And we don't see the Tailwind boost, meaning that Tapu Lele is still going to be fastest on the field. We're now going to see that Groudon, so Terran's going to bring in her final Pokemon, which is that Groudon. In this case, the Sun Boost is a blessing and a curse because you can help your own Incineroar with Flare Blitz later if you're able to survive. Tricia needs to remove that Groudon, and then essentially the game is hers. But that Groudon can do massive damage. A Precipice Blades will be able to remove both of Tricia's Pokemon if played right. So let's see if she's going to be able to counter out Terran here. We see that Intimidate from Incineroar's return to the battlefield. Again, not going to do very much. We see the Moonblast in an attempt to remove of that Yveltal, but it's swapped back into Incineroar. Lowers Incineroar's special attack, not that it's going to need it. And there's that Blue Flare. Goes into the Groudon slot in the sun, and Groudon takes it with 6 HP, reveals the berry, and now Terran is back in this game. It's a Citrus Berry, not a Pinch Berry, and that is just... That's the bad luck that Terran really didn't want to see. So yeah, I feel really bad for Terran because they got the bird on Yveltal, they got the crit at the 29 HP Yveltal earlier as well, and now you're missing the Reshiram, so it's not over, it's not 100% over for Terran yet, because both of Tricia's Pokemon do have one flaw, and that is accuracy. Blue Flare is not 100%, and Precipice Blades is also not 100% accuracy. So Terra needs to reverse that bad luck that she just got and essentially hope for all misses, because the Precipice Blades plus Flare Blitz will be able to remove the Reshiram and Groudon, so Terran might still be in this. But they gotta hope for all misses. And there's the Tailwind, so even though you're gonna be down to, Terran's gonna be down to 1 speed tier lower, there is the chance that it will be able to knock out that last Pokemon if her Pokemon survive, but that's not the case. Tricia is able to get that Precipice Blades hit, and now Terran is down to 1 Pokemon, which is burned at 30 HP. So Tricia Sullivan, a very well played game here, being able to bring that Reshiram in, show us that it is going to be a threat in this format, as she takes round 1 of our Premier Challenge today. Yeah, in this case, even if Terran were to try and stall this out, the burn's going to get her in 2 turns, and you can only knock out 1 Pokemon. And the Blue Flare hits, so there you go. And it's a crit! Just to add to it! Oh my gosh! I am so sorry, Terran, for your bad luck today. That was brutal. That was brutal. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're being good sports over there. They're laughing. I hope you guys had fun watching that match. It was entertaining, and congratulations to Tricia for taking that match, but also sorry to Terran, because that was like some of the worst luck I've seen on stream ever. Join us for round 2, and maybe we'll have better luck.